I can't remember what day it was, because everything kind of is still a bit blurred, but the sirens went off everywhere in town. Like when your house is on fire or something, the fire brigade sirens went off. It was just like drilling all over the town, and we got basically told by our teacher to run home as fast as we can, not to stop anywhere but to go directly home. And when we got home, we got told by our mum that the war has started and the Serbians were fighting against the Bosnians. The army came, and they basically yelled into the house for all men to come out and to go with them, because if they don't, they would massacre the whole family. So my dad kissed us all goodbye, and he walked out of the house, and I still remember my mum and my family standing on the window looking at my dad leaving. And I don't know what possessed me, and I ran out and I went and grabbed the guy on the jacket, and I basically called him Chico, which is uncle in our language, and I asked him to promise me that he was going to bring my dad back, and he leaned over and he said, I promise you your dad's going to come back. And I kind of held on to that throughout the whole terror that we went through with the next couple of months and years. So yeah, that was day 1 and night 1. It was horrific. It was absolutely horrific. I mean, they wouldn't feed us, they wouldn't let us wash ourselves or clothe us. So our food was waters that we could find in pumps. We had those pumps, the manual ones that are out of the ground. So we would use that as drinking water, and then food was whatever we could find. We started getting anemia and other health issues. And yeah, at night my mum would hide me and my sister in cupboards, and she would give my brother sleeping pills to keep him quiet, because at night time is when they was coming and basically taking girls away to sexually abuse them. And it was through my mum's thinking that she actually managed to save us. You become immune to it, because you know, like nighttime comes, you know what you need to do. Daytime comes, you know what you need to do, and it just felt like an never-ending hell. She paid him and asked him to pass the message on and let my dad know that he had a son. And it was our dad afterwards that told us that when the prison officer came, even though he gave my nan the word, when he went to see for my dad to ask for basically for his name, another gentleman got up and he told the gentleman that this and this woman came and asked me to tell you that you've had a son, and killed the guy on the spot. So at that point my dad decided to actually keep his name to himself. He made up a different name and he kept the name to himself, and that's how he stayed alive. The last refugee camp we were at, the UN stormed it and they freed majority of us. Some of us obviously got killed through the process of it, but majority of us got out. And they took us to a safe haven essentially in Croatia. Then from Croatia we was meant to be taken on, Slovenia was taken on refugees, a number of refugees. So we got taken to Kranjska Gora in Slovenia, and then we got told, you know, they didn't have any space for us, so we got taken back to Croatia. Then we spent some time there, and it was that time we actually got reunited with our dad. And that was probably the best day of my life, knowing that my dad's still alive. And yeah, from there he then told us that he got offered to go to Austria. He went to Austria first, and then we got left behind again. And I was just thinking, we're never going to see our dad again, you know, we don't even know where he went. We was just hanging on for days, you know, and waiting to find out what's going to happen with us and stuff. In the meantime, my brother got really ill, so he was in hospital, and then my mum broke down and she ended up in hospital for a while. And then just before we were supposed to leave there and go to Austria, my gran had a heart attack, and I think it was just the stress that was coming down on her. Eventually she cracked and she had a heart attack, sorry. And then we stayed behind to wait to see whether she's going to come out alive or not. And eventually we ended up in Austria, and by some sort of miracle you know, mum and dad got a job, and we went back to school, and yeah, spent a few years trying to fit in and find a way around, and you know, get to know people and get to know their ways, you know, and not feel like you're an obstacle to everyone or you're a burden to everyone. And yeah, it was never the same. Sorry. But I mean, our home was a broken home, you know. It's my dad was never happy, and he blamed God for everything. And there was loads of disputes, you know, and issues between the family, which is what can you expect when you've just been through hell and back. And I just kind of like missed having a normal family. So I finished school early, and I came to London, you know, tried to develop my career further, because the only thing that kept me going and kept me sane is stick my head into my books and study and be an A-star student, because that kind of like made me feel just a tiny bit normal. And then I came over here, and yeah, I got married really early because I was hoping, you know, that might fill that gap I was feeling, and got used to the marriage, and yeah, it was just, I was just lost, trembling around in the world, you know, living a very worldly life. Till 2012, when I was surrounded by loads of Christians actually through work, because I was in the office and I got introduced to this client, and everyone was Christian in that group. They started talking to me about Jesus, this Jesus, that, and I was sick of it. You know, I just couldn't hear it. I was like, you guys don't know what this Jesus guy did to us, you know. But I just kept saying to them, look, I'm really sick of it, like, just stop talking about it. And then it was towards the end of 2012, I was like, I looked up and I was like, well, if you are this, you know, amazing God, and if you are, you know, this great guy, you know, show yourself to me, you know, do something in my life. And because I had everything, you know, I had a great job and I had everything, but I just felt unhappy and empty. I don't know, I think Jesus just grabbed hold of me during the second time, and it really all just fell into place, and yeah, here I am today, and just trying to live a righteous life. If there's one thing I've learned, is that Jesus is nothing but love, you know, and he is all about love and just loving one another and being there for one another. So yeah, that was one of the first things I had to ask for forgiveness for, is for hating on him and blaming him for everything. And yeah, I'm glad I've been forgiven.